crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir, Roota.com with your morning horn of these, your sip of chaga coffee. I posted the latest Jenny Moonstone discussion on the private road yesterday. Riggers fear $50 silver in the U.S. Mint conspiracy. Good guys. Really good information here. We talk a bit about the next rigging operation. So Jenny saw a couple of years back, 2 years ago, she saw that the riggers were changing how they're going to do business, and she saw it continuing further. And it was that time was when JP Morgan leased its silver to Bank of America, and they did whatever with it. I think it went to Buffett and to Elon Musk and maybe the U.S. Mint. After talking to the head of sales for the Eagle program, he doesn't know anything about it. So I did hear from the woo-woo side, some of my really deep contacts, that there is another minting facility right near the Grand Canyon, within the Grand Canyon. So, yeah, that would be unknown to this guy, the head of sales for Silver Eagles, who's absolutely livid that they are destroying his program. He'd been there, literally, it was his baby. He's been there 35 yees. So the program started in 1986. I think he joined the Mint in 1987. He's been working on the Silver Eagle program since then. So it was that guy like way up at the top of the Eagle program who's saying things aren't right. We're breaking the law left and right. That's not how he put it. When I challenged him about breaking the law, he said, yeah, it goes against the law. There's like 4 or 5 things that are breaking the law at the U.S. Mint right now. Anyway, go check that out also. That's on the private road. Check out the Jenny Moonstone. She did talk about that the bad guys in silver are trying to pivot to a new rig job. So the whole Bank of America leasing this silver from JP Morgan to suppress the price and all that is pivoting now. And the way she explained it, it was really cool because she talked about one of my favorite movies. She says, I see, and she'd never even seen this movie, but she'd seen clips. She sees Indiana Jones where he's going in to get the golden idol, and he's got the bag of sand that he's figuring out, does it weigh the same? And then he just flips it over. Let me show you what she saw and described to me. It's right here. That's what she saw. She saw the bad guys trying to pivot. It could be removing the top 4, which is happening. The top 4 silver riggers, the top 4 silver shorts are going down, except for one of them, which is not a commercial trader. So I think the pivot is to get a couple of the technical funds in on the short position and have a smooth transition. But like this movie, she said it doesn't work. You know, it's all planned out. Like right now, BlackRock has that big silver short. They're buying PSLV, and the criminals are trying to do their thing, just pivot to another form of manipulation, but it won't work. Just like in the Indiana Jones movie. And then the big ball comes rolling down on top of Indy. Love that movie. But yeah, that's the bad guys. So go check out that discussion that's on the private road at roadtoroota.com. Okay, this is huge. I mean, so Trump's been indicted. Tuesday, he's supposed to appear in court. But what's going to happen? Is he going to go into jail? And if he is, what would happen to the social fabric? What would happen to the United States of America? Would the true patriots actually stand up and say, okay, enough's enough? And actually do something like... it's not. January 6th was a peaceful event, in case you didn't know. Ridiculous, deep state psyop. If you don't believe me, that's fine. All you have to do is look at a little bit of evidence. It's even more obvious than on 9/11, what really happened on 9/11. It wasn't a couple planes flown into buildings by some, Arabs. It just wasn't. There's so much evidence that it wasn't. I knew it right away. Not right away. It took me a couple weeks. And then a movie came out called Small Change, and a documentary on all the things that didn't make sense. I loved the day of 9/11. They're in downtown. They're at the Twin Towers. It's literally 4 or 5 hours after the planes hit the buildings and the buildings collapsed. The media pulls out like 5 of the passports of the people who were ultimately, named as the people who flew the planes into the buildings. And they say they pulled them out from the rubble. Are you kidding me? I mean, the stupidity of the plot and how it was carried out. And obviously everybody knows this story now that it was an inside job. Absolutely. And the buildings weren't taken down by airplanes. They're taken down by explosives. That's obvious by now. I hope everybody knows that. I think they did a poll and said 80% said there's a hell of a lot more in the United States, a hell of a lot more than what we were told by the Bush administration. So, yeah, same thing's going on. But yeah, it won't be anything like if they throw Trump in jail. I do expect mass revolts, not the people revolting against the people revolting against the government. That's kind of scary. Because who's going to stand up for the government? If all the people are like, what the fuck? Who's going to guard the FBI? The military won't touch them. Hell no. People should be arrested. The problem is it's the people in charge that are supposed to do the arresting of themselves. And yeah, if they throw Trump in jail, can you just imagine? I would hate to be anybody speaking out against that. Speaking out for that. Saying, oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. First of all, Biden's done twice as 100 times worse things, but just the stuff they're talking about, the classified documents, Clinton had them, Bush had them, Biden had them. Biden had like thousands and thousands of boxes, and the whole thing is just kind of insane. But if they pull this trigger, you're going to see half of America just go ballistic. I'll be one of those going ballistic, absolutely. This is bullshit. I'm not going to let them take my country. I like my country. But people will be very vocal. And the way the tide has turned with all the trans bullshit, and we're just not taking any bullshit anymore. If this happens, you're talking major issues all around the country. And maybe that's what they want. Maybe that's what the bad guys want. Usually, and it might be a good thing, because usually when the bankers get in trouble, which they are right now, the FDIC already said this second quarter is going to be the destroyer. They need a distraction. Usually they go to war. Well, it doesn't look like they're going to war, although if you believe the John Teeter stories back, the time traveler guy, he's gotten a lot right, just his timeline was wrong. And he says Russia nukes 3 cities to end the war, which is interesting. Because why, we've always been told, if one large nuclear country fights another, it's the end of the world. So we'll see. I don't know. Who knows? They did say that Trump would be the last president. And that's a book, actually, from the 1900s. Trump, it's called The Last President. And it talks about Baron Trump being the last president of the United States. Oh, so much down that conspiracy road. I love it. It's fun to watch and figure out in your head. But we're living it right now. That's the amazing thing. They're going to try to throw, in my opinion, the best president the United States has ever had. Even though he did rig markets, he had to do it, I'd say. He had to do it just to keep the system running. The very instant that market rigging stops, our entire life stops. Everything. You won't be listening to Bix Weir videos in the morning anymore. You won't be listening to the news. You won't be listening to anything. When the banks go down, then everything goes down. And we got to figure a way forward. And it's chaos. It's gotten more complicated. They should have done this in 1913. Instead of creating the Federal Reserve to hide what they found in the gold, all the gold in the Grand Canyon, they should have just said, hey, we just found a shit ton of gold, about 50 times what we think was on the planet. And it's sitting there in the Grand Canyon, and there's caves in the Grand Canyon, and it's in the sand in the Grand Canyon. What are we going to do now? And to ask the world, what to do, have the chaos then, instead of having the chaos 100 years later after they built this crazy facade of a lifestyle that we live. Anything that's not in your possession, poof, will be gone in a blink. Just keep that in mind. Anyway, what's silver doing? A real battle is going on for the 50-day moving average right now. 50-day moving average is somewhere around $24.50. You can see in these charts, if it breaks through that, it usually gets a great break up higher. So when it breaks up over the last, it could go back and test, like right here, right in here, where it broke through, boom, you went from 22 to 26. I mean, obviously, it's a bunch of computers trading back and forth. And we see that in the data. Look at this data. This is the COMEX just yesterday. Volume 96,000 contracts. That's 500 million ounces. Half of all the silver on the planet or mined every year was traded. And you're like, what? What do you mean, Bix? Yeah, half of all the silver was traded, mined silver was traded yesterday, over half. These are futures and options derivatives. And it's literally a handful, a tiny handful of people who are doing it. Open interest. Now, here's what's being done now. You're seeing almost no silver deliveries on the COMEX anymore. Nothing. We've had 421 so far this month. It's not a delivery month. I get that. But still, even the delivery months are barely doing anything. Why is that? It's right here in the data. It shows you right here in the data. Every day, it shows you this. EFP, exchange for physical. Exchange for physical trade is a privately negotiated and simultaneous exchange of a futures position for a cash position. That cash position is at the London Bullion Market Association in London. That's how deliveries are made now. It's not made on the COMEX anymore because those inventories don't even matter, literally. They're all a lie. So they had to go to London for it. Harvey Organ does a great job tracking these at harveyorganblog.com. I mean, look at the months. Look at all the exchange for physicals. Last year, 90 million in a month, 90 million ounces. This is like, that would be the largest COMEX delivery month ever. But it's all going to London. 70 million, 200 million ounces in March of 2022. That's the record, 200 million. And then it just goes every month, 175 to 100 million just gone. In March, 112 million were delivered. These are literally contracts that should have been delivered on the COMEX exchange, but are being traded, given over to London for delivery because they know COMEX exchange has like limits on what you can do. The London Bullion Market Association is not an exchange, so they can do whatever they want. And then April, 118 million. May was very low, 66 million. Now, 66 million delivered on the COMEX would be one of the biggest years ever. But it was very low for the this game they're playing. And June's looking pretty good so far. Yesterday, if you look at where we are, 1,000 contracts were shifted over to London for immediate delivery from the July contract. So that's, 5 million ounces. This is a non-delivery month. 5 million ounces have gone over to London for delivery. It's just crazy. So it is a game. It is a game just like Indiana Jones was swapping out the idol. There it is, the idol swap. I love this. This is the games they play. Okay, I won't do it over here at the COMEX. I'll do it over here at the LBMA, and no one would know. Nobody's gonna know except they announce it every single day. EFP, exchange for physical. It's crazy. I know, it's crazy. A couple things interesting here. It's become dangerously big. 2 natural gas ETFs own 30% of the front month futures contracts. That's nothing. I mean, if you want to see dangerous, go to the silver COMEX market at the commercial traders. They own a huge concentration of the silver short position. But hey, natural gas is different because it affects you. I mean, silver doesn't affect people every day because they use it in such tiny amounts, but they use it. Their cell phone, their flat screen TV, their solar panels. They're electric cars. They're regular cars. Silver is the most important metal in the world, but we use it in such tiny amounts per person. People just completely gloss it over. Don't even know. They don't even know there's silver in their flat screen TV. They don't even think about when the Green New Deals come out, how much silver would be necessary. It's impossible. We're already at a silver deficit. This year, next year, and it's projected forever. Forever. It'll all come out of these ETFs. If you're an ETF holder, oh my God, you're crazy. The Sprott ETF, the SLV, these are all derivative contracts. You'll never, never, never get that silver out of there. Not that you want to, because the only reason you're in those is for convenience. And you're going to understand really soon just how convenient it is to have all your money stolen. all your valuables stolen, all your assets stolen. If you're in mining shares, oh my God, really? Mines around the world, countries around the world are already starting to vice grip the silver mines. Mexico, Peru, Argentina, Bolivia, everywhere. They're saying, why are we selling silver at these crazy low prices? So they're changing the laws. And if you have a mining company that has a foreign mine, kiss it goodbye. No way. When the monetary system shuts down, governments will put their hands around their people and say, okay, we're here to help you. And we're going to institute a new monetary system. I know we fucked up the last one, but we're going to go back to gold and silver. So none of these mines that these foreign companies, are operating will be allowed to take any silver out of the country. Poof, there goes your mining share. It'll happen in the U.S. too. They've said it in the Roota documents. It's in there. How will they allocate the new money? According to Social Security. Well, where do they get it in the first place? From mines within the United States of America. Because nobody will be trading back and forth. It's not like we're going to get imports from Mexico of anything. And from Canada of anything. Those are the things on our border, not to mention China that makes all our shit. China's going to shut us off anyway. So, yeah. Very crazy time. Oh, by the way, if you guys are new to the Road to Roota, I do give away my book for free. The PDF book, Silver, Gold, Bitcoin, and God. It's a free download. And then I've written 4 books in the same manner. Go check that out. Go to roadtoroota.com, click on shop, hit general store. It'll bring you to this page. And then right here, this is a free download of the book, Silver, Gold, Bitcoin, and God. Go check it out. I love these books. I need to read them again. I wrote them a while ago, so all the things I was talking about 10 years ago are happening. So they're in the book. There's a few things that I look back, I said, why did I write that? Why did I write that? Especially about who the bad guys are and the good guys are. And I'm like, I really have this feeling that entities have changed. I mean, I don't think Biden is the same Biden that he was before. I think most of the politicians have changed. And it could be like, everybody's talking about the Biden wears this mask thing. You can see it flapping around when he's talking, and there's 5 different Bidens and the earlobes don't match and all that stuff. So I don't know. I just wrote what I wrote, and you guys could be the judge and the jury on whether I got that right. But everything else, it is coming true right now. So go check those out. And then if you want to subscribe to the Private Road, get all the Jenny Moonstone stuff, get all the U.S. Mint, the discussion with the guy at the U.S. Mint, I will be posting the last part 3 of that discussion later today on the Private Road. So hit subscribe today, join the Private Road at Road to Roota. While supplies last and while silver's under $30, we'll send you a Silver Roota Lives coin, the coolest coin ever made. This is Bix Weir. I'll talk to you later.